Daytime baseball here on MLB Network. Today, the third and final game in this three-game series between the New York Yankees and the Ducks. The Ducks look for the series sweep at home against their division rivals. First pitch is next. Ricky Aguirre will do the pitching in Game 3 of the series. Dan Plesac, what do you got?
Hey, in this day and age where we're all into numbers and statistics, look at this whip, 1.10 or less. He has a sub 1.1. That's not an easy thing to do, especially in today's game where we see teams scoring a lot of runs. He doesn't walk very many guys, and he doesn't give up that many hits either. This is a real good pitcher and should be fun to watch pitch in this one.
Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes. And afternoon baseball on MLB Network is underway. Dan, D-Row, we take a look at our home nine as they take the field here today. They come in riding a 5-game winning streak, and they've really got things clicking.
Yeah, Matty, this team's coming together right now. They're playing dangerous baseball. You can tell the look in their eye. They feel good about where they're at. They've won a few games in a row, and they look to continue that trend today.
The windup and the 0-2 pitch. Fouled off. Yankee shortstop behind in the count 1-2. Shaping up to be a pretty nice day for baseball. 69 degrees here at first pitch. Ready to deliver the 1-2. To 2 balls and 2 strikes now.
Well, 2 straight fastballs inside haven't put him away. So now it'll be interesting to see what he turns to.
Line drive to left. And that finds some outfield grass. It's a base hit. So here in the first inning, the leadoff man's aboard to kick things off.
Man, I thought this at-bat was over. Down 0-2. He's able to work himself back into a hitter's count, 2-2, and he's able to find the knockout there.
That'll bring in Giovanni Urshela. A pitch out. The throw. It bounces, but he's out. Nice play there to pick the throw and put the tag on quickly. A ball and a strike. Bases are empty, 1 man out. And when that thing's doing that, forget it. It's 1-2. Time for a look at our umpires in this one. Working the plate is Carl Dixon.
Hey, D-Row, one of the things you have to be aware of as a hitter from Carl Dixon, he'll call that high strike.
Yeah, he will. So you better be on top of your game with 2 strikes, because if they elevate, good chance Carl Dixon's punching your ticket.
Count even at 2-2. Now here's the pitch. And there's a line drive. Base hit to left field.
Batting third, the second baseman, Gleyber Torres.
And that'll bring up Gleyber Torres, as the first pitch to him is in there for a called strike 1. He'll enter play here with an average just over 250, 18 homers, and 43 RBIs. Line to the right side. A leap, but he can't bring it down. Base hit. And that runner will go no further than second, as there are 2 aboard now.
Wow, you rarely see this guy give up more than a hit an inning, and he's already given up 3 here. It's too early to be concerned, but you do have to keep an eye on him moving forward. He's a pro, though, so he's capable of turning things around in a hurry.
Now at the plate, Aaron Judge. And as we check the splits, not too surprising to see that his numbers are quite a bit better in the launching pad that is Yankee Stadium. First pitch of the at-bat. Hit on the ground, and that is off the first base bag. And that's a fair ball as it's through into right field. And they won't get an out from this as he's able to reach on a play that you just don't see very often.
Man, you might see some scrambling between the manager and the pitching coach in this one. That's 4 consecutive knocks, code red.
And digging into the batter's box next will be Giancarlo Stanton. And they're runners at the corners now. Ready with the 0-1. A swinging strike, and now it's 0-2.
Big pitch coming up right here. He'd love for a ground ball or a strikeout.
The 0-2 delivery. There's a ball low. He misses with a changeup.
As a hitter, you got to be staunch in your game plan. You know he has a nasty changeup, and you got to fight to make sure it's in the zone. That's a great take right there.
Hoping to send him packing. Pitch on its way. And a pitch takes off inside and gets away. So the lead runner holds on, but the trailer will take second. Torres at third. Judge at second with one away. Struck him out. And now they'll likely need a base hit to get that runner home from third.
This pitching staff has done a really good job against this guy in this series. This is a really good hitter, and it's not easy to make a guy strike out 5 times in a series up to this point, but that's what they've done to this guy so far.
Into the box now, Luke Voigt. As a good changeup will get him to commit too early, and it's strike 1.
This is exactly the situation you drew up from an offensive standpoint. Good pitcher on the mound, but you got a chance to bury him early in this one.
Ball 1 as he lays off below the zone.
Wow, kind of an interesting pitch call there. The batter flailed at the pitch away on the previous one, so you'd think you'd go right back there, but instead they decided to come in, make him prove he can adjust before you do.
Here's the 1-1.
Hey, lots of guys get too aggressive in a spot like this, but he's done a nice job of gaining some count leverage. Look for him to put the ball and play hard.
Lifted down the line in left. And this will wind up a foul ball. He's set. The 2-2. A swing and a miss as he chased with 2 strikes, and that will retire the side. Yankees forced to settle for 1. We'll move on to the bottom half of inning number 1. The Yankees lead it 1-0. Garrett Cole, the California-born right-hander, is on the mound. Dan, any thoughts?
Matt, I'm a big fan of Garrett Cole. Big, strong guy. Former first-round draft pick out of UCLA. 96 to 98 miles an hour with sink. Hard slider. His changeup has gotten better the longer he's pitched. He has a chance to be a no-hit type of pitcher every time he takes the mound.
At the plate, Lawrence Cohen comes in today, leading the American League in batting for the season.
What a powerhouse season, in the top 10 in home runs and runs batted in. He's also one of the most feared hitters in all of baseball.
And this is low, ball one. Well, this Yankee ball club entering play this afternoon here. They enter this one off a loss after winning 5 of 7 prior to that.
Yeah, Matty, this team has been playing really well right now. And this is case in point. Chance to jump out again to another 1-0 lead. They've really been doing that. They've been on attack, early offensive, almost ambush-like approaches to their at-bats, and it's working for them.
Wow, that's what a veteran hitter will do, right? Takes 2 really good pitches, both just missing the...
There's a swing and a drive, and everybody's just going to sit back and watch that one fly. A no-doubt home run. So it's a solo home run to lead off the bottom of the first. Number 36 on the year for him. And this ball game is tied at 1.
Baseball has really changed. Remember when leadoff guys were guys who would just draw walks and steal bases? But that's not the case anymore. Guys like this, they have pop in their bat and they can go deep.
At the plate, Lucas Cohen.
Center fielder, Lucas.
As he can't make contact and is tied up here at strike 1. His career line against Garrett Cole. He has 9 base hits in 17 at-bats. He's also hit 5 out of the park against him, so keep your eyes on this matchup. Oh, got him to swing out of his shoes on that one. 0-2.
Looks to me like he's trying to make adjustments pitch to pitch up there at the plate, but he's looked completely thrown off so far. Late on the first one, way out front on the second.
And he takes strike 3 called on the fastball. 1 gone.
Every pitcher gives up home runs, some more than others, but the best ones forget about them as soon as the next guy digs into the batter's box. He showed me a lot right there by going after the next hitter and striking him out on only 3 pitches.
At the plate now, Stephen Cohen. As he'll take a look at a slider here that misses for ball 1. And he comes in as a player to watch out for, hitting well over 300 on the season. Hit back toward the mound. And that's through for a hit.
Dan, after that base hit right there, we're talking about 2 full weeks of finding a way to be productive and get a knock.
Think about that. You think how hard it is to get a base hit in a professional baseball game, and for him to be able to do it 14 consecutive days in a row. As a pitcher, you have to just tip your cap to this guy.
Into the box, Oliver the man, as he'll take a tough pitch on the outside part of the plate for strike 1. 276 the average coming in for him. 15 long balls and 55 driven in. Now a throw over to first. Runner at first here, 1 man out. He's running. Pitch is high. The throw is there to ring him up. The caught stealing for Sanchez.
They're showing they're not afraid to be aggressive on the base path so far in this one. But we'll see if this caught stealing slows that down a bit. Managers never like to run into out, so they might play it a little safer going forward.
Down low, 2 balls and a strike. Bases are empty here with 2 men out. Looks at a fastball inside, so he's in the driver's seat. 3-1.
Pretty good pitch right there. Fastball in off the plate. One of the things you want to do as a pitcher, try to stand those hitters up.
He loses him on ball 4.
And don't forget, he gave up a long ball earlier in this inning, so you can understand why he wasn't too aggressive with him there. When he got him to 3-1, he wasn't too anxious to challenge him.
Stepping up to the plate, Ben Whitney. He's 3 for 7 in the series coming in. He comes set. Here's the 0-0 pitch. But facing right-handed pitching so far this season, Whitney is carrying around batting average in the 320s. That's what you might call potent.
You want to talk about having a career season, Matty. This guy's batting average is through the roof, one of the best in the business, and maybe more importantly, his OPS is through the roof as well, which means he's doing it with damage.
The 2-0. 2 balls and a strike to count. So far this season, Whitney begins play with a slugging percentage north of .525. Certainly a line he can take pride in. Cole sets. Here it is on 2-1. Sent foul again, and after being way ahead, now it's even at 2-2. And this one gets away. And that'll hurt as the runner will move into scoring position now.
Well, the intent there with that 2-strike pitch was obviously to get him to fish for something he couldn't do a whole lot with, but there's the risk that comes with that as well. If you don't execute or your catcher can't handle it very well, you give up 3 bases.
This is hit high in the air out toward left center. Stanton will get there, and he puts it away to retire the side. But a run scores in the inning, and that'll have to be good enough as this solo home run knots things up. Second inning coming up, all even now at 1-1. All set for the start of the inning, and standing in is the DH, Miguel Andujar.
The designated hitter, Miguel. And
First delivery to him on the way. Took a little off, and it's in for a called strike 1. Today's contest is, of course, the finale of the series, and the home side has dominated so far. They've got the opportunity to complete the sweep with a win in this one.
This team going for the sweep is looking for some home cooking. It's always nice to win a series, but particularly nice when you can sweep a series at home.
Hit out towards second. Reined in. Throw to first will be in time, and there's one gone here to start the second.
batting eighth, the center fielder, Aaron Hicks.
Next for New York, Aaron Hicks. Now here's the pitch, and a changeup here, but that's taken low in the dirt for a ball. Now a fastball for a called strike. It's 1-1.
You rarely see a pitcher of this quality throw one right down the middle, and man, as a hitter, probably a good chance you're not going to see that pitch again.
The 1-1 home. Takes a pass and misses. That's strike two.
Ooh-wee. That was some smoke right there. High fire right on by.
Two balls and two strikes to Hicks now. He got ahead with two good fastballs and then tried to drop the changeup to see if he'd be out in front. Did a great job of laying off that pitch right there. Interested to see where he goes now.
Now a swing and a miss. He struck him out, and it's 2 up, 2 down to start the second.
That swing tells me he was really trying to get a pitch out front and rip it down the line, but that wasn't a great pitch to do it on. It's really not the best two-strike approach either.
So now to the plate, Gary Sanchez, as he looks at a fastball that's in there for strike one. He'll work on keeping this top of the second alive. The windup and the 0-1. He looks like he's toying with him here. It's 0-2.
Oh, I love this, boys. Mano-y-mano. He's coming to get him with back-to-back big-time heaters.
He's ready. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Fouled away. Now a Another 0-2. Inside, as he might be trying to set him up here 1-2.
So the intent of that 0-2 cutter right there isn't necessarily to get a swinging strike. If you get it, well, hey, that's great. But if you get it inside enough and he does make contact, he probably can't do anything with it anyway.
And that misses 2-2. So a full count now.
Hey, this guy's a hard guy to put away. He's fouling off some tough pitches. 2-2 count, and he just seems to keep hanging right in there.
And he takes ball 4. So a good job out of the 9-hole in getting on base as we go back to the top of the order.
And I'm sure the manager is just fine with that. I mean, it's better to battle a slugger like that to the end and end up walking him than serving one up, or he can really hurt you.
Stepping in, Hoy Park. He singled to open up the ball game.
Not an easy thing to do when you're in a leadoff spot, but that was a good piece of hitting in his first at-bat, an opposite field base hit, which leads me to believe that this guy's going to cover both sides of the plate.
No balls and a strike to count. He's set. Here's the 0-1. And he's got to be more disciplined here. It's 0-2.
With the way this guy's throwing on the mound, you cannot be chasing. You have to set your sights a little bit lower and control the strike zone.
Protecting on 0-2, so we'll do it again. Working for the punch out and the offering.
I got the count 1-2.
Hit in the air to shallow center. In comes the center fielder. He's got it. A great running play, and that'll retire the side. One left for the Yankees. We'll go to the bottom of the second, tied at 1. Coming to the plate now, Spencer, his dudeness, comes into this one with just 1 hit in 9 tries for the series.
His dudeness.
Ready to deliver. Here's the first pitch. One strike now from Cole. Hit in the air out to center field. Hicks is under it. And he hauls it in for the first out of the inning.
That is better. No left fielder. Michael Cohen.
Stepping into the box, Michael Cohen. First at bat for him in this one. He was 1 for 4 with a double in the ball game last night. Now here's the pitch. And here's a fastball called for strike 1.
That's a tough pitch for a batter. If you're not expecting it, you'll end up with half a bat after you swing.
And that's up in the zone a bit, but a called strike. 0-2.
Let's see if he tries to climb the ladder right here, change his eye level, or bounce something in the dirt.
1 out, nobody on. And a wave and a miss on a ball that was way out of the strike zone. There are 2 away now.
This is the kind of at bat where your hitting coach grabs you on the way back to the dugout to have a little chat about your approach. Not a lot of positives to draw from that at bat when you take 2 strikes and then you chase one out of the zone to go down on only 3 pitches.
In now, Nigel Pierre, as he will take strike 1 on the fastball here. No balls and a strike. Into the windup. Here comes the 0-1.
Off the plate, ball 1.
Outside, 2-1. can't find the zone there, and it's 3-1.
I'd be real surprised if he goes back out away there on the mound. This is a count for a fastball challenge, and we'll see if he's ready for it in the box.
Line to the right side, but that's a foul ball. Now the 3-2 pitch. And it's fouled away.
I think for every player, for every former player, that swing right there is the reason we need to extend the netting without question. Want the fans to be safe.
Got him swinging, and that will end the inning. Digging in, Gio Urshela, as we are all set to begin the third inning in this one.
Gio Urshela.
First pitch of the at-bat on its way.
0-1's the count.
Oh, 0-1 count, and the pitch. And he takes strike two.
You got to cover the whole plate now after letting him steal 2 strikes on the inside half.
Good job to spoil that one away, and he stays alive. Here's another 0-2. Now a swing and a miss as he picks up another one. Make it 4 strikeouts already, and there's your first out.
Boy, there's nothing better from a pitcher standpoint than watching that high fastball, a high piece of cheese, swung at and missed. That pitch looks so inviting to hit, but it's awfully tough to put in play.
To the plate now, Torres. As he takes a called strike at the knees, it's 0-1. 1 for 1 after a single his first time up. Strike 2 as the fastball is let go.
After 2 great pitches, he has a lot of options right now. He could bounce something or go elevated fastball.
Bases are empty, 1 man out. Got him swinging. Chased it well out of the zone, and there are 2 gone.
No better way to minimize the potential damage a cleanup hitter can do than to strike out both guys in front of him. Always a confidence boost when you can sit down the guys at the top of the lineup.
And that'll bring up Aaron Judge, as the first pitch to him is in there for a called strike 1. A base hit in his first trip. Swing and a miss, and he's quickly in the hole. 0-2.
The MO of this pitcher in the early going is certainly establishing the inside part of the plate. He has been dominant. Sometimes you just got to tip your hat if a guy can effectively, consistently pitch inside like he is.
Strike 3 on a pitch in the dirt. Cohen is after it, and that ends the inning. Nothing across here this half. We'll head now to the home half of inning number 3. All tied at 1-1. So coming to the plate, Al Messina, and he really thrives in the batter's box here at home. Something to keep an eye on in this one. First pitch on its way. On the ground to second for Torres. Throw on to first in time, 1 away.
Now batting, the shortstop, Lauren Cohen.
Digging in to try it again, Lawrence Cohen. He went deep in his first at-bat. We'll see what he's got in store for us here.
Yeah, that last at-bat, Matty, he turned that fastball around. He didn't hit it a ton. He didn't hit it a country mile. But, hey, listen, a home run is a home run.
First pitch hacking here, and that's the first strike. And low, it's a ball and a strike. A ball and 2 strikes now. The 1-2. Hit out towards second. And very quickly there, they're 2 gone to start the inning.
Now batting, the center fielder, Lucas Cohen.
Digging in, Lucas Cohen. 0 for 1 for him here in this one. Here's the first pitch to him. Hit hard on the ground to short. And the throw pulls him off the base, and the inning's going to continue.
Now batting.
And that's what speed does for you. He made the play, but in the back of his mind, he knew he was dealing with the speedster, so he rushed the throw, and he had more time than he thought, too.
Stepping in and ready for another shot, Stephen Cohen. He reached on a single in his first try.
Yeah, Matty, pressure's off right now. He extended his hitting streak that last plate appearance. Now he gets to get back into his zone, work on his craft, and try and drive something in the gap.
First pitch of the at-bat on its way. Ooh, started him with the change, and it's 0-1. Runner aboard at first here with 2 gone in a 1-1 ball game. And they pitch out here, but nothing's going on. One and 2 now as that one's fouled off. Over the first, pull, and he is tagged out here. Boy, a bad mistake that time as he's picked off to end the inning. The dangerous Giancarlo Stanton will get the first shot when we return. On now to the top of inning number 4. All tied at 1-1. Back with Mark DeRosa and Dan Plesac, Matt Vasgersian, and leading off the inning, the big right-handed slugger, Giancarlo Stanton. Outfield shaded a bit to left center, the first pitch. Stanton is a prolific power hitter, and you probably didn't need me to tell you that. Doesn't matter what kind of pitching he faces, there's a lot of pop in that bat. 2-0 to the Yankees left fielder.
You can see this guy's more focused at the plate right now. In that first AB, he went down on strikes.
Now the 2-0. And he fouls this one off. The 2-2.
To be honest with you, I'm a little bit more afraid of the guy on deck than the guy that's up right now. If I'm on the mound, I want this guy up right now. He's the guy that's got to beat me.
Ready to deliver the full count pitch. And he lays off there, ball 4. So the leadoff man is on here to begin stanza number 4.
Man, when the game is tied, the last thing you can afford to do is walk the leadoff hitter. Got to focus on getting that ground ball now.
So striding in, Luke Voigt. He'll look to bounce back after striking out his last time up.
Yeah, he's got to put that one behind him, especially with runners in scoring position. Those punch outs will stick with you a little longer.
Just gets a piece of it. Strike one. Comes set with the 0-1. Strike taken as that one crosses over the inside part of the plate. Working for the punch out and the offering. Boy, good cutting action to that pitch as that's the first out of the inning. So with a runner at first and one gone, time to bring in our pitch speed comparison for these two starters. And fellas, if we do games together for the next decade, we might never see two starters in the same game throwing that hard. I mean, this has really been something. So one gone in the inning here with the runner at first. And striding into the plate, it'll be Miguel Andujar. From the stretch. Low for ball one. In for a strike. It's 1-1.
Hey, I don't mind that batter taking that strike right there. He's walked a couple people early in this game. Got to find out if he can find the zone. If he wants to walk them all in, we'll take it.
Runner on first here with one gone and a 1-1 tie. Can't keep the weight back, and he falls behind 1-2. And this one's in the dirt, and a heads-up play to get back to first as he wisely hadn't gotten too far from the bag. Here now the 2-2.
Got a full count.
Not a bad time right here to put that runner in motion. 3-2 count. You send the runner, and if it's a bad pitch, it's ball four.
Payoff pitch home. Curveball, but a good job to lay off, and he works out the free pass.
And things are not looking good here in the fourth inning. That's the second walk of the frame. Good time for the catcher to go out to the mound and have a chat with this guy to give him a little breather.
Striding in, Aaron Hicks comes into this at bat 0 for 1 in the ball game. From the stretch. Outside part of the plate, the changeup is in there.
Awesome execution right there. Great pitcher's pitch and an excellent job to get ahead in a tough spot.
As a look, now the pitch. Swing and a miss. It's 0-2.
Great pitch in that situation. If he makes contact on that one, more than likely he's hitting into a double play.
The 0-2 home. Slap hard the opposite way. His dudeness is there. 2 down. And he'll make it up safely to third, so they're at the corners now with 2 men out.
The catcher, Gary Sanchez.
Digging in now, Gary Sanchez. He drew a walk his first time up. From the belt, kicks and deals. And he starts him out with a strike on the outer half.
0-1 for count.
Bounce towards the second baseman. He's got it. Throw on to first, and the Yankee threat goes by the boards as the inning is over. A couple of walks, but no damage. More baseball on MLB Network right after this. Ready to go for the last half of the inning, and next will be the power hitting catcher, Stephen Cohen. First offering on its way. Here's a slider to start things out, looked at for ball one. And maybe a little frustrated on the mound here as the fastball misses for ball two now.
It's a lot easier to hit when you're putting yourself in good hitters counts. This guy's done a great job not swinging at pitchers' pitches. And when he's getting the ball in his zone, he's getting the barrel to it. He's been hot lately.
The count now at 2-1. And the pitch. On the ground to the right side. A diving try, but he can't haul it in. It's through for a base hit. So make it 2 hits for him in this one as he's on base here in the home fourth. And as you can see there on the team leaderboard, he's currently pacing the club here as we approach the midway point of the season. Into the box now. Oliver, the man. Pitch out. Nothing doing. Now a throw over. And he'll dive back in safely. Leadoff man aboard here in a 1-1 ball game. In there, and it's even at 1. One and one count. Here's the pitch. A pitch out. The throw, and a good decision to pitch out that time as he is toast at second base.
That was great wheels against a great arm behind the plate, and the arm won that time. He's got one of the best catcher arms in all of baseball, and he showed right there why he's a guy you don't want to run on.
1 out, nobody on. Swing and a miss out in front of a changeup. Count remains 2-2.
Well, somebody's sitting off speed right here. Only way he was late on that heater is he was expecting another changeup.
And this will miss down low in the dirt, so he's worked it full now at 3-2. Ben Whitney is on deck. Something has to give. Here's the payoff pitch. Right side, but it's going to be a foul ball. The next 3-2. And he finally wins the battle as this is swung on and missed for the second out.
Boy, there's nothing like seeing a good power pitcher that has a good fastball. And what does he do? He just throws this good fastball right by, brings the express. No chance to put that ball in play.
At the plate, Ben Whitney, as the first pitch to him is swung on and missed for strike 1. He's 0 for 1 thus far. In there, and he's ahead 0-2 now.
Wow, not sure what they're looking for right there, but that one was pretty much middle center cut. Tough pitch to take.
Oh, look at the sliding stop. He's up with it. The throw. He's out. All ready to go in the top of the 5th. And stepping up as the shortstop, Hoy Park.
Hoy Park.
Third baseman in tight, protecting the bunt, the first pitch. Into his windup, here comes the 1-0.
Really feels like he's just on cruise control out there on the mound right now.
Boy, this is a tight one. You kind of get the feeling like the next team that scores is going to win this one.
The 1-1. Hangs on him a bit that time as it's belted out toward deep center field. And he will run this one down, moving to his right, and that's the first out of the inning.
The third baseman, Urshela.
Digging in once again, Gio Urshela. He singled and later scored his team's only run back in the very first inning. He's 1 for 2. Now the pitch. Ball 1. Bases are empty, 1 man out. Slapped hard the opposite way, but he'll barely have to move out there in right as he hauls this one in for the second out.
Well, this one was squared up pretty good, but just like pitchers give up hits on well-executed pitches, batters make outs on balls they couldn't have hit much better.
So bases are empty here with 2 gone, and that'll bring up the exciting middle infielder Gleyber Torres. Infield in the overshift here. Now the pitch. Fouled off. The 1-1 home. Doesn't catch the outside corner. It's a ball. Fouled away. One run, 4 hits, and 1 error on the Yankee line score so far. Line drive snagged on a short hop. Throw to first will get him easily, and the side is retired. 1, 2, 3 go the Bombers. Halfway home, all even at 1 apiece. Now to the plate, Spencer, his dudeness. He'll lead things off against Garrett Cole.
The right fielder.
He's ready. Here's the first offering. High and deep to left center field. Hicks going back at the track. The wall. It is gone. Holy cow. Oh, my goodness. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. So a solo shot here to left center field. 12 home runs for him now thus far. As they take the lead, it's 2-1.
Hey, listen, there's an old adage in baseball that solo home runs won't kill you. This is one of the top hitters in that lineup. So a home run, a solo home run right here is not the end of the world.
Stepping in now, Michael Cohen. As the first pitch misses to him, it's ball 1. He was a strikeout victim in his first try. Up top, it's 2-0. Hits are now even at 4 apiece. And he'll lay the fastball in here to get the count back to 2-1. Now the pitch. Here's a big swing and a miss on the fastball. 2-2.
When I broke into the league, not many guys were throwing that elevated fastball with that much velocity on it. The game has changed.
Hit out towards second. Torres picks it up. And the throw pulls the first baseman off the bag, and he's safe at first.
Hey, that's great hustle right there out of the box. Not everybody's getting it right out of the chute from step one, but I have to ask you, Dan, how frustrating executing a pitch and there's an infield knob.
It is, D-Roy, and you can read that right off the bat as a pitcher. You can read the angle. You know that that ball is going to be hit on the ground, and you're thinking deep down inside, okay, there's a quick out, and it just wasn't meant to be.
Runners on the move for second. Pitch is a pulled strike. The throw. He's in there easily as the throw bounces on the way down.
This catcher has an elite arm. But when you get that great of a jump at first base, it makes it a lot easier to steal second.
1-1. Misses for the second ball. No one out with a runner at second. Lifted the other way to left center. On the move is Stanton. He makes the catch. A great effort to get there and record the first out of the inning.
Now back, second baseman, Al Mussina.
Digging in, Al Mussina. He got on top of one and was a ground out victim last time. First pitch on its way. Way inside with that one. A pretty easy take there. And the runner's breaking for third. Pitch inside. The throw is in time as he gets the tag down, and he's out trying to take third. Now the 2-0.
I don't blame him for not coming over the heart of the plate. He circled this guy on the lineup card when he got to the yard today. He's been swinging one of the hotter bats in the game.
2 out, nobody on. And he takes ball 4. So a good job out of the 9-hole in getting on base as we go back to the top of the order.
Not sure why the pitching coach is even going to the mound. This guy's been on cruise control the entire game. Might be he's just giving his pitcher a chance to catch his breath, regroup, and regain some of that focus.
So the batting order turns over now and set to go Lawrence Cohen. Cole sets. Here's the first pitch. Runner on first with 2 away. Throw over to the bag. And again a throw. Runner back safely. One strike now from Cole. 1-1. Hit hard on the ground to second, and that is just past his outstretched glove, and that ought to be a base hit. And that runner will go no further than second as there are 2 aboard now.
Now batter, the center fielder, Lucas Cohen.
So now to the plate, Lucas Cohen, as the first pitch to him is off the plate for a ball, 1-0. 2 men are on with 2 men out. Breaking ball. That's in the dirt as he takes a ball.
Has to be a challenge pitch coming up here. He probably doesn't want to flirt with loading the bases.
Ready with the 2-0. And it's fouled away. The set and the 2-1. in the dirt here. The runners will hold tight, but it's a full count now, 3-2. 2 down, runners at first and second. Short, hit hard, scooped up, throw in the dirt, but a good scoop at first saves an error as this side is retired. So it's a run on 3 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on. We're through 5 here at the ballpark. The Ducks lead this one 2-1.
The right fielder, Aaron Judge.
Ready to deliver. Here's the first pitch. And he jumps on this one. It's high and deep to center. He settles under it and makes the catch in the deepest confine of the ballpark.
This guy's not wasting any time, right? Gets a first pitch fastball, and he flies out deep on the first pitch of the inning.
Giancarlo Stanton now. It was a walk in his last trip. First pitch coming. Here it is.
Count 1-0.
That hook stayed up in the zone. You can see he struggled with that curveball early. He's trying to find that release point with his off-speed pitches. We'll have to see if he can find the feel for that thing moving forward.
Into his windup. Here comes the 1-0. Had him lunging at that pitch away, and it's 1-1 now.
I know we want to focus on the offense and how bad they've been so far, but can we give some love to the pitcher? He has had these guys in the rocking chair all day.
Ball taken there. 2-1 now. Here's the pitch. Comes back with a fastball low, and that moves it to 3-1 now.
Team's been struggling on offense. Let your D work for you right here. Pound the zone.
Changed up on him and dropped it in for a called strike.
Probably better that he let that pitch go anyway. After seeing a lively fastball on the pitch before, it's pretty hard to sit back enough on a well-thrown changeup.
Hard hit towards center. And he will make the play out there, and there are 2 away now.
Boy, talk about hitting into some rough luck. That was an absolute bullet to the outfield that gets caught, and he would have represented a tying run.
At the plate, Luke Voigt. He's hitless in his 2 at-bats so far. First offering on its way.
Ball 1, no strike.
I think when a team starts struggling, certainly offensively, it's just guys try and play above their pay grade. Know who the best players are in the lineup and try and get on base to set them up.
Shot toward right center. That gets down, and he's got himself a base hit.
Hey, after starting the game 0 for 2 with 2 punch-outs, that single had to feel good right there. Nice piece of hit.
Miguel and Duhar.
Here's Miguel Andujar now as he swings and misses at a first pitch fastball. 0-1.
This is where you got to take stock in the situation. Adjust your batting gloves and realize you need a gapper to score this guy from first. If nothing less, pass the baton to the guy behind you and keep the line moving.
0-1. Here it comes. And he just ramps up and gears the fastball by him. 0-2.
Obviously, he's not fatiguing whatsoever. Still in the mid to high 90s with his fastball. These guys got to stay on the attack if they're going to have a chance.
A ball and 2 strikes now. And with just 5 2/3 innings under his belt, he's about to hit the century mark in his pitch count now.
Yeah, Matty V, and the way baseball is played these days, it's about 6 innings or 100 heaves, and you're pretty much looking for that bullpen. And D-Roll right now, this guy's pretty vulnerable right now at this game.
Yeah, Dan, you are a monster down that bullpen. That's what it seems to be in today's game. There's 5 or 6 of you guys hanging out down there.
And we'll have to leave it there as this is strike 3, and that will retire the side. The Yanks leave one. They're down 2-1. So stepping in, Stephen Cohen. He'll lead things off here in this one-run contest.
Stephen Cohen.
Ready to deliver. Here's the first pitch.
No, inside.
The 1-0 home.
At the ball. Count to 2-1.
Weak grounder down the line at third. Reined in the dirt, and oh, he can't quite dig it out.
Now
So definite problems on that last play, and they'll hit the first baseman for the error.
the man.
So here's the cleanup hitter, Oliver the man. First offering on its way. Runner goes for second, and he fouls this one off. A 1 pitch on its way. Ball 1 as he lays off below the zone. A 1-1 is laid off for ball 2.
Boy, that's a good pitch right there. The old school guys would call that a little bit of chin music up and in. See if he can get him to move off the box a little bit.
Just off the outside that time, laid off for a ball.
That's a great call right there. Fastball away with a guy who's got some jets on first base. Almost like a hybrid pitch out. Great for a catcher if that guy's running. Easy transfer throw to second base.
Breaking ball that drops in for a strike.
Full count, 3-2.
Fastball called, strike 3, and there's the first out of the inning. Pretty clear he didn't like the call there on the outside part of the plate, but probably too good to take, and he's down on strikes for the second time.
Yeah, that pitch was right on the black. Beautiful pitch. And even if we had robot umps, he'd still be out. But the only difference would be he wouldn't be able to complain about it.
And a dive, but he's back in there. Standing in now, Ben Whitney, as he'll watch one miss down and in for a ball, 1-0. Low scoring game thus far, 2-1 here in the 6th. And they pitch out here, but nothing's going on. Two-well count, the pitch.
Ball 3.
Three and one.
Count to 3-1.
The 3-1. And the slider gets him swinging, 2 gone.
Classic slider down and away for the strikeout there. Not a whole lot to say about that pitch that hasn't been said a million times already. That's just a real tough pitch for a hitter to pick up out of a pitcher's hand, so they end up chasing when they're in protect mode.
To the plate now, Spencer his dudeness as he will look at a first pitch fastball for ball one. He's working on a 1-for-2 game so far. Over to first, Cole, and the runner back safely. And another throw over. And he'll dive back in. Hit on the ground to third. Quick throw to Torres to retire the side. One error in the inning, but it doesn't hurt him. Seventh inning coming up. Long Island is out in front 2-1. Now at the plate, Aaron Hicks. He'll start the seventh, and Dan, as a former pitcher yourself, you must be enjoying this. Lots of good pitching and defense today.
Oh, that's one of the keys. We're seeing a lot of strikes. We're seeing a lot of swings. We're seeing some great plays on defense. This has been a snappy one up to this point.
Here's the first pitch to him. Didn't quite catch the zone there. Ball one.
The guy in the mound is having one heck of a night, but the downside of that, if you're going to strike out a lot of guys, your pitch count is going to be high. So this gives the offense some kind of hope as this game's getting down to the end.
Changeup stays outside and is behind 2-0.
Don't expect this pitcher to throw something over the heart of the plate. He's going to have to stay on the corners right here. Huge spot in this game. Do not miss over the heart and get beat.
Over the outside half, and it's 2-1. Yeah, we see a lefty and a right-hander start to loosen up in the bullpen. Now a ball fouled down the right field line out of play, so that'll move the count to 2-2 now. Looking to punch him out again, the pitch. Struck him out, and he becomes the 9th strikeout victim thus far.
Nice job there taking care of the leadoff hitter via the strikeout. I'll tell you, in a one-run game, especially this late, getting that first guy in the inning is so important. It changes the whole complexion of the inning, so that was a big out.
Now out of the dugout comes the manager as he'll make his way towards the mound. And he's going to motion for the bullpen, as that'll be all for his starter this afternoon. So a good job all in all this afternoon, and as it stands, he can only win this one as he departs with a 1-run lead. John Brown comes on to pitch here with one man gone in the top of the 7th. At the plate now, Gary Sanchez. Oh, look out. Hot shot to third, and there are 2 away.
Now back. Shortstop. Boyd. Park.
Now back to the top of the lineup. Stepping in, Hoy Park. He's got a hit in 3 at-bats to this point. Here comes the first pitch. Ball 1. Two and 0 now. 1 run, 5 hits, and 2 errors for the Yankees to this point. Outside, 3 and 0 now. Brown has proven to be a guy that throws strikes coming out of the pen and doesn't walk a lot of batters.
Boyd, every manager and pitching coach, Matty V, they love to bring a guy in that they know one thing. He's going to throw strikes and not beat himself, and this guy is certainly not afraid to attack the strike zone.
And that's in there, 3-1.
He'll be fine coming out of the bullpen in this one if he can keep the ball around the knees like that.
We're in the 7th inning now. The pitchers duel, 2-1 our score. And he lays off ball 4. So now the potential tying run here is aboard late in the game.
Now batting, the third baseman, Gio.
So a big moment here and standing in, Gio Urshela. And he does so representing the possible go-ahead run. Quick check on that tying run at first. And he'll get back in safely. First pitch of the at-bat on its way. Now a throw over. And he'll get dirty, but he's back in safely. That misses wide. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ready to deal. Here's the 1-1. And this one's in the dirt. Runner holds as the count moves to 2-1. Line to the right side. And as it turns out, the 2-out walk doesn't come around to haunt him as that ends the inning. 1 left for the Yankees. Our score remains 2-1. Jonathan Holder gets the call from the pen to take over on the mound and start the home 7th.
Number 56, Jonathan.
Now at the plate, Michael Cohen.
Leading off for the Ducks, the left fielder, Michael Cohen.
Ready to deliver. Here's the first pitch. 1-0 pitch. One and 2 as the changeup had him out in front there. Tough pitch to lay off there, but he did, and it's even up at 2-2. This one sinks low and a touch outside. It's a full count, 3-2.
When you're playing close games like this, base runners mean everything, so he can ill afford to start giving away free passes.
A swing and a miss on a ball way out of the zone, and there's 1 away.
I think he had his mind made up. He was swinging the bat and trying to protect before the ball even left the pitcher's hand. That pitch wasn't even close. He would have needed a flagpole to hit that one.
At the plate, Nigel Pierre, as the changeup to him drops in there for the first strike. Holder stands 6'2" and throws from the right side. He was taken in the 6th round during the 2014 draft.
Hey, nothing has been handed to this guy. Drafted in the middle rounds, and he has found his way in the big leagues. This has turned out to be a really nice pick.
Now a swing and a fly ball. Near the stands, and he brings this one back in. He took that right out of the first row. Wow.
Second baseman,
At the plate, Al Messina. Here's the first pitch to him. And it looks like the Yankees will have a left-hander up and throwing in the bullpen. Now the 1-0. High in the air down the right field line. Judge will reach out with one hand to make the catch on the move, and that ends the inning. In now, Torres. He'll start us off in the 8th.
This thing's far from over, even though we're moving into the back end of this game. Only down by 1. All they need to do is get this leadoff guy, and they're an extra base hit away from tying this thing up.
Outfield in the no doubles defense. Now the first pitch. This is skied into the air to straightaway center. Cohen is camped under this one. One pitch, one away.
Now back.
Well, look, Derek, the numbers for our two starters here today, with both guys recently departed from the ball game and looking on from the dugout. Francisco Rodriguez gets the call as he'll pitch with one gone in the top of the 8th.
Rodriguez.
Here's big Aaron Judge. It was a flyout for him in his last trip.
Almost, Matty. Almost went deep his last AB. Certainly just missed it. With this guy's big power, he's feeling pretty good at the dish. Look for him to try and get on something and drive it out of the yard this AB.
No balls and one strike. Comes set and the 0-1. And he pumps the fastball by him at 94. It's 0-2. The Ducks leading by the slimmest of margins late in this one and trying to hang on and earn the series sweep.
One of the keys if you want to sweep a game is you're going to have to get some big outs in that 7th, 8th, and 9th inning. They're leading by a run as we're going towards the end of this game. Now it's time for the pitching staff to put this one under wraps.
In now, Giancarlo Stanton, as he gets a good curveball here to start the at-bat. It's strike 1. And even sweeter, of course, is getting that series sweep in your own ballpark in front of the home faithful. So we'll see if they can send these fans home happy.
No doubt about it. Fan base is excited. They're all out in full force, coming to the ballpark, hoping to witness a sweep, and it looks pretty good at this point.
He's ready. Here's the 0-2 pitch.
Well, all of the umpires in the seats thought that was strike 3, and they weren't far off, but I think that was a good call. Looked to be just a bit outside.
Bases are empty here with 2 men out. And he strikes him out as well. So make it back-to-back punch-outs here to the first 2 men he faces out of the bullpen. So the Yanks go 1-2-3. They still trail it here 2-1. Zach Britton will come on in relief here and appear in game number 25 on the year so far. Standing in, Lawrence Cohen. He homered earlier and is 2 for 3 to this point.
Lawrence Cohen.
Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes. Hit sharply on the ground. And that's a base hit, so a chance for some important insurance here to kick off the bottom of the 8th.
Yeah, that hard hit single right there. That's clean.
Now
3 for 4.
center
He's looking
fielder,
locked in.
Lucas Cohen.
Into the box, Lucas Cohen. Swing, high drive, left field and deep. Back goes Stanton, still ranging back. And this ball is gone. No chance to make a play on that one. It's a 2-run shot to straightaway left. Number 31 for him on the season, as it's now a 4-1 ball game.
And the home crowd has really come to life here in the bottom of the 8th. They know as well as anybody that a 3-run lead this late in the game is awfully tough to overcome, especially on the road. 3 outs, and this one is theirs.
Now batting, catcher, Steven.
Stepping in now, Stephen Cohen, as the sinker to him finds the zone for strike 1. With this one almost in the books, the story was clearly the long ball. What are your thoughts on this offense, fellas?
Well, Matty V, I don't know what your thoughts are, D-Roll, but boy, when the weather starts to warm up and the ball starts jumping out like this, it's clear that the pitchers need to start making better pitches.
Yeah, just great approach. No one really chased today. Really stayed staunch on their ability to get that pitcher to come into the heart of the plate, and they did damage with it.
Bases are empty here, nobody out. Fouled off. Ready with another 0-2. Hit hard on the ground is short. On to first, so a good bounce back pitch there as he gets the ground ball for the first out.
Now batting, third baseman, Oliver Dubhan.
Striding into the box, Oliver the man. He got called out on strikes his last time through.
Yeah, Matty, and hopefully he got it out of his system. Especially now, he's got to bear down. He gets the 2 strikes in this spot. Has to put the ball in play.
Off the plate and low here, ball 1. Fouled away. The 1-1. Popped him up. Voit in foul ground. Makes the play, and there are 2 gone now.
That's exactly what they wanted out of that pitch up in the zone. They took him up the ladder, and he couldn't get up to it. So that was an easy pop-out. Well-executed pitch there.
Stepping up now, Ben Whitney. No hits in 3 tries so far. He's struck out once. First pitch of the at-bat.
Nope, outside.
Oh, that's a nasty breaking ball right there. Backdoor slider, just missed the corner. As they say, that's a Hall of Fame pitch.
In there, 1-1. This pitch is popped up. Urshela is there. And that ends the inning. But 2 come across to score in the inning, courtesy of this 2-run home run. Last chance coming up here for the Bombers. It's now 4-1. Ricky Vaughn takes the ball now in inning number 9, looking to close the door. set to start the ninth in this one, and stepping in the long ball threat, Luke Voigt.
They look like they're up against it here, down 3 on the road, trying to come back against a closer.
He's ready. Here's the first offering.
Someone on this offense needs to take it upon themselves to have a quality AB and start the line moving again.
And now he'll foul this one off as well to fall behind here. No balls and 2 strikes. Hammered the other way to deep right field. A ball that's carrying. And just short of a home run, this ball's off the wall. And the Yankees are in business here. It's a leadoff double.
And he obviously didn't let last night's hitless outing get to his head too much, because that's his second hit of the ball game. This one a double. I'm sure he's feeling a lot better about the way he's going right now.
And that'll bring up Miguel Andujar as he'll take a look at ball 1. A runner at second, nobody out. Now it's 2-0.
The last thing you want to do when you've got a 3-run lead in the ninth is give the other guys any sense of hope. It's a good time to challenge here on 2-0, especially since there's a good chance he's taking until he gets a strike.
3-0 to him now.
Every ball club has that spark plug guy, and this is the guy right here. He usually ignites a lot of productive innings.
A 3-0. And the good fastball there finds the zone as the count goes full now. 3-2. And he misses there for ball 4. So runners are at first and second now with nobody out.
The closer is supposed to slam the door on his opponent, but he left the door wide open with a walk there. We'll see if they can capitalize on it.
So it's first and second now. Nobody out. And that'll bring up the switch hitter, Aaron Hicks. Comes set. Now the pitch. And a good fastball there, but this just misses the zone for ball 1.
Hey, this isn't going to be an easy save. These guys are making him work for this one.
The 1-0 home. Gets him to chase a ball out of the zone for the first strike.
When your team is behind this late in the game, it's not a good look for you as a hitter to show no discipline and wave at a pitch that...
And he whiffs on it as this ball's right under his glove. And some trouble now in right field. So problems out there in right field as this is going to wind up going as an E9. Jason Dominguez will come on now and pinch run here.
Now running at second base, number 60, Jason Dominguez.
To the plate now, Gary Sanchez. As the first pitch misses to him, it's ball 1. 0 for 2 from him so far in this one. The 1-0 is offered at and missed for the first strike.
He struggled a bit coming out of the bullpen here, so he needed that strike. Maybe it settles him down a little bit.
That nibbled the corner there, but missed. 2-1.
His pitch count is getting up there in the inning now. He needs to get this frame over with sooner than later, so forcing contact and getting the defense involved is probably the best thing he can do.
Here's a high pop-up. The man waits on it. 1 away.
Great scoring opportunity missed right there. You talk about frustration, popping it up with 2 runners in scoring position. He'd like to get that one back.
Ready once again, Hoy Park, as he'll look to bring home that tying run from second with a base hit into the outfield. Ready to deliver. Here's the first pitch. The 1-0. And this is swung on and missed, so they come right after him, and it remains second and third, but with 2 away now.
Just tied him up with that last pitch. Pretty evident by the swing. Sometimes guys get in that protect mode so much that they're swinging at everything that they see, and they end up offering at pitches that they can't possibly do anything with.
Into the box now, Gio Urshela. As the first pitch to him is a changeup that can't find the zone. It's ball 1. He comes into this appearance in the midst of a 1-for-4 day. The 1-0. And a good heater as he just watches this baby, a ball and a strike.
Looked like he was going to wait him out, see if he was going to come over the heart of the plate. Well, newsflash, he is, and this hitter's going to adjust his batting gloves, and he better be ready in the box.
Here's the 1-1.
Inside, ball 2.
Runners at second and third with 2 gone. Now a good pitch around the knees, but it doesn't quite catch the bottom of the zone. Torres would be next. And there's a called strike 2, as now they're down to their final strike this afternoon.
He's got a chance to ring up back-to-back Ks here, and that would be huge in this situation.
Last chance for the Yankees. And he connects with it. This one's hit deep out to left center field. And this ought to plate a couple as this ball's down for extra bases. He's in at second safely, as we're now tied after a pair of runs score on the play.
You know, D-Roll, there are some guys that shy away from hitting when it really counts. Top of the 9th, and this guy comes through to tie this thing up.
Yeah, he was able to slow the moment down right there. Get this back to square. There's still a bottom of the 9th looming. Let's see if they can tack on a few more.
Bobby Levens has been summoned here, and will try to keep this one tied heading to the bottom of the 9th. And time will be called here, as with the important go-ahead run at second base, they'll opt to go and get a little more speed out there. Standing in now, Torres, as he takes a fastball off the plate for a ball 1-0. As mentioned earlier in the broadcast, this game has the potential to result in a series sweep, but of course with a tie game on our hands, that is no foregone conclusion.
Never easy to sweep. This is one of those teeter-totter games, back and forth as we're tied going into the back end of this game right now. It'll be interesting to see how this one plays out.
The set and the 2-0.
This is a spot you like to be in as a good hitter. Runners in scoring position and count leverage in your favor.
Right-hander starts to loosen out in the bullpen now. He's set. The 3-0 offering.
Taking all the way, and it's 3-1 now.
Stealing that strike on 3-0 was important, but you don't want to miss over the heart of the plate in this situation. I got to believe he's going to be way more aggressive right here.
The 3-1 pitch. Swing here on the fastball, and this will get fouled off to the right side. Go-ahead runs in scoring position here with 2 down. Oh, and look at this. High in the air and deep. And when this ball comes down, they'll have taken the lead. Home run. It's a 2-run shot to straightaway left, and it's now 6-4.
Hey, with one swing of the bat, that closer better get ready. He's going to be doing some work in the bottom half of this inning.
At the plate now, Aaron Judge. As he'll look at a breaking ball that misses for ball 1. He went down on strikes last time up. The 1-0 home. Two out, nobody on. And it's a ball and 2 strikes now to Aaron Judge.
This pitcher's bringing it with some high velo. You better get that front foot down early and get ready, or he's going to throw it right by you.
The 1-2. And it's fouled away. Another 1-2 delivery. And he struck him out. So a good pitch there, and now they're going to need to string some hits together in this last at-bat if they want to get back in this thing. So, boy, the wheels really came off the bus here in the top of the 9th as a huge 9th-inning rally has totally changed the complexion of this ballgame. 6th, 7th, and 8th place hitters scheduled to start the bottom of inning number 9. The Yankees are out in front, 6-4. Tyler Wade will stay in the game, taking over at third base and batting in that 9 spot. Ken Giles enters the game to finish this one off here in the bottom of the 9th.
Ken Giles.
Leading off the inning, Spencer is Dudeness, and they'll need him to get something going here.
Spencer is Dudeness.
He's ready. Here's the first offering. There's a drive high in the air and deep to left center field. Stanton looking up. It is gone. Holy cow. Oh, my goodness. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. So a solo shot here to left center field. And this will make things interesting at this point. It's now a 6-5 game.
That, my friends, is a cardinal sin for any closer. You can't give up the long ball. Good thing for him, he still has the lead. We'll see now if he can rebound and actually keep it.
So now to the plate, Michael Cohen, as it's grounded sharply to first. And a backhanded reach at first, but he can't flag it down.
Hey, guys, I think the pitcher was just trying to steal a strike right there. I do not think he expected to get ambushed on an 0-0 get-me-over breaking ball. But that's exactly what happened.
Into the box, Nigel Pierre. As he'll take a look at a pitch too low. It's ball one. The Ducks find themselves losing in the late innings. What are your thoughts on this one, guys?
Yeah, Matty B, this is one of those that you kind of scratch your head and you go, wow, you hit the ball all the ballpark, but still not enough offense. It just goes to show you this sport is still, D-Row, all about pitching.
It is. It begins and ends on that bump right there. And there's just so many facets to the game. Defense, base running. It's just not the team that hits the most home runs is going to win the ball.
And a fastball in there for a strike. 1-1.
Hey, there aren't too many power hitters in the game that would let that pitch go by.
Nobody out, runner on first. And he misses. 2-1.
Looks like that bomb earlier in the inning kind of put this pitcher on the defensive. Not being very aggressive right now.
The 2-1 home. It's in there for strike number 2. Here now the 2-2. And here's a ball hit in the air. Heading after it is Judge, but this will land untouched. A runner at first with no outs here. Quick check on that tying run at first, and he just manages to get his hand in. The 2-2 is looked at, and the count moves full. You see a right-handed batter waiting next, but he could very well be pulled back as the situation dictates. 3-2 pitch. Out in front as this is pulled foul into the seats. He'll try it again. 3-2. And he missed with it. Ball 4. So that means now the potential tying run will move into scoring position at second.
Now back, second baseman,
Into the box now, Al Messina. A winning run at first with nobody out. From the stretch, here's the pitch. Sacrifice attempt here. Torres at the bag. Throw on to first won't be in time, so they just get the one there.
the batter number 9, shortstop, Lawrence Cohen.
Digging in and looking for more, Lawrence Cohen, as he's got a chance to tie this ball game up with that equalizing run just 90 feet away at third. Here comes the first pitch. And no swing, apparently. Ball 1.
Wow, that pitch wasn't even close, and he almost chased it. If I'm the pitcher, I'm going to expand the zone even more on the next one.
Here's a look over to first, and he'll get back in standing. Tying and winning runs on base here with one big out. Oh, on the ground to short. Could this be two? Oh, but it's thrown away at second.
Usually these guys turn that 6-4-3 double play in their sleep, but it looks like he rushed the feed just a little bit. You have to be sure to get at least one out. Now we'll see if the guy on the mound can pick up the defense.
Now Tommy Kingley is called upon to get the final 2 outs of the ninth and send this one into extra innings. Lucas Cohen will be the first to face him here as he'll stand in with 2 men in scoring position and only 1 away. Here's the first pitch. Oh, and the bunt attempt is missed. And forget about it now as he is hung out to dry here, and they tag him out on the busted squeeze play. Big spot here. Possible winning run at third. 2 down. Ball 1.
21.
Not close with the off-speed pitch taken for a ball. He's fallen behind now, 3-1.
Good job to work the count and put himself back in the driver's seat. Started off with 1 strike, and now he's got the count in his favor, 3-1.
And it's up to a 3-2 full count now.
Hey, there was great arm action on that 3-1 changeup right here. He's got this guy thinking. That's the beauty right now. We go to a full count. Do you sit changeup or do you stay with the heater?
He's set the payoff pitch. And he misses ball 4. So he comes out of the bullpen and immediately walks the first man he faces.
Well, that was a slider in a 3-2 count, and it just didn't tempt him enough to get a good swing. A good job of pitch recognition and knowing the strike zone to draw the free pass there.
So a big moment in the ball game here. Stephen Cohen, as he'll hit with the go-ahead run at third and 2 away. First things first, here's a throw over, and the runner back in standing. Here's the first pitch. Starts things here with a changeup for a called strike. In his career, Cohen is carrying around a batting average in the 320s. That's what you might call potent.
Yeah, Matty, I know in today's game, batting average isn't held in high regard, but for a career to be north of 300, you're doing it. The count doesn't mean much to this batter. He's all in. He's not concerned with striking out, so he's going to get his A swing off.
Now he drops a changeup on him. Strike 3 called, and a great pitch there to retire the side. But disaster has already struck here in the bottom of inning number 9 as 2 runs come across, and they'll have to work a little longer to try and pull this one out on the road. Ready for another shot now, Giancarlo Stanton. He'll be the one to start things out as we begin the 10th. Ready to deliver. Here's the first pitch. There's a fastball called for a strike on the inside corner.
Obviously, it's pretty deflating when you blow a lead in the bottom of the 9th, and now you're still fighting in extra innings. But the fact is, the game is tied, and a win is still very much a possibility, so they have to play that way.
A ball and a strike now. From the windup, the 1-1 pitch.
That was a tempting pitch to swing at right there. A big power guy like this really wants something that he can elevate and drive out of the ballpark.
Still 2-2. Swinging a liner back through the box. Throw to first gets him. 1 out here to lead off the 10th.
Oh, man, you can't hit a ball any harder than that. I mean, this ball gets on him in a heartbeat. Nice job to stay with it, though, and then make the out at first.
Now in the box, Luke Voigt. He hit a 2-bagger and later scored in his previous plate appearance.
Well, he got a good pitch to hit last time up. Looked for it up in the zone and didn't miss it. Those are the pitches you only get. Maybe once an AB, maybe once a game, maybe once a week. So he certainly capitalized on it last time.
Waved at and missed, and he's behind 0-2.
He got a swing and a miss on that last pitch, but that's not the location he wants to live in against a hitter of this quality.
And he'll try and tempt him with one in the dirt, but he'll hold back here. It's 1-2. Down the first baseline, but this is a foul ball as the count holds steady at 1-2. Now the pitch. Got him, and he goes down on strikes for the third time.
Now batting.
In now is the Yankees DH, Miguel Andujar. No hits to this point. First pitch of the at-bat on its way. Fastball in there for a called strike. Fastball misses inside. It's even at 1. Bases are empty here with 2 men out. No offer on that one. 2 balls and a strike.
1 strike.
All even now, 2-2.
Lucky he got a piece right there. He was definitely late on that pitch after seeing a previous off-speed pitch.
Lifted in the air out towards left center. And this is going to get down for what should be extra bases. And there's your potential go-ahead run. And your go-ahead run is in there at second base as he's got himself a 2-out double.
The center fielder, Jason Dominguez.
Stepping in now, Jason Dominguez, as he will take a fastball in there at the knees for strike 1. The average coming in at 266, 4 home runs, and an even 20 RBIs. The 0-1.
Well, you can see he's coming right at this guy, just pounding the ball in the strike zone. He certainly has the advantage now. This guy hasn't even swung the bat yet.
A pause. And the 0-2. And he strikes him out here for out number 3. So after a scoreless top half, they'll have a chance to win it here in the bottom half. Danger averted following the 2-out double. Don't touch that remote. More on MLB Network right after this. Bottom of the inning now, and that'll give way to the third baseman, Oliver the Man.
Oliver the Man.
First offering on its way. Strike taken up in the zone.
Hey, great job pounding the zone. Strike 1. When you got a great hitter in the box, got to get ahead. Count leverage is a must.
Here's a breaking ball, but it doesn't quite find the strike zone. Grounded down the third baseline, but a foul ball. 1-2 the count now. And that's high for a ball. It's 2-2. And the slider's in the dirt as he lays off it for a ball. He's set, and the payoff pitch. And he struck out again. That's the third time he's gone down on strikes in this one. Stepping in, Ben Whitney.
Ben Whitney.
First pitch coming. Here it is.
Ball, that's inside.
The 1-0.
Ball in.
1 out, nobody on. 2-1 after the foul ball there. Wanted to go after the slider, but he holds off. 3-1.
Well, it's a pretty well-known fact that your batting average goes up as you get into more favorable hitters counts, and that's especially true when we're talking about this kind of hitter. Not a great spot to be in if you're the pitcher.
And he lays off ball 4, so now the potential winning run is aboard at first.
Spencer is present.
Spencer, his dudeness, will stride in one more time, looking for home run number 3 in the ball game as we flash you back here to his second home run as you see what got us to where we are now. A big 9th inning shot that helped propel us into extra innings. Here's the first pitch.
Nope. Ball 1.
Hey, he threw that pitch with a purpose to get a double play. Good job to let it go by, though, as a hitter.
For the pitch, a check on that winning run at first. And he has to dive, but he's back in easily. And again a throw. Oh, and it froze him, and they got him.
Hey, a good right-handed pickoff move is really all about the footwork, and that was nice. He got his feet all the way around the first, which allowed his hips and everything else to clear for an accurate throw to the inside of the bag. That, and it was real quick, too.
The 1-0. High in the air out to center field. Dominguez is there to make the catch, and that means we've got more baseball ahead. Nothing across here this half of the inning, and we'll have to cancel those dinner reservations, partner. 11th inning coming up, and we are all even at 6 apiece. 11th inning set to get underway, and the next to bat, the Dominican-born catcher Gary Sanchez.
Gary.
Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes. Starts him out with a changeup for a strike. The windup and the 0-1. And he fouls this one off. On its way, the 0-2 pitch.
The count is 1-2.
I like that he tried to tie him up inside on that pitch, but it was a little bit of a risky situation because if you're off just a little bit, you can end up plunking a guy. That's the last thing you want to do when you've got a guy 0-2.
And a big cut at the breaking ball, but he comes up empty, and that's the first out. Good job of making him chase a pitch for the strikeout there.
Yeah, Matt, that's the advantage of getting ahead in the count. You can really force hitters to expand their zone and protect. And when they're in that mode, getting them to go after a pitch they can't do much with becomes a lot easier.
In now, Hoy Park. Drops one down here, and he'll try to beat it out. And the off-balance throw beats him at first, and that's a tough play.
Next for the Yankees, the third baseman, Tyler Wade.
And that'll bring up Tyler Wade. Here comes the first pitch. Two out, nobody on. And he buries a breaking ball that time. Good pitch, and it's 0-2.
Interested to see what the pitcher goes to now. After getting that late hack on the curveball, does he speed him up with some velocity?
And they'll try to tempt him with a curveball, but this bounces in front of the plate, and it's 1-2.
Hey, the fish ain't biting there on that 0-2 breaking ball, but you got to be careful because this pitcher might throw him another one. He
pulls this one into right. And And this is going to get down for what should be extra bases. And there's your potential go-ahead run. And he will pull into second with a 2-out double. Well, that's why they call baseball a game of inches.
Yeah, you're right, Matt. He showed some serious hops, but not serious enough. He goes up high for it with a good leap, but he just can't bring it in, and that allows him to cruise into second with a good piece of hitting.
Torres will stand in yet again, and as he does, we flash you back to inning number 9, as this was the big blow, a 2-run shot that helped get us to this point here in the extra frames. Here's the first pitch. Pulled the fastball down a little too much there. That's ball 1. Two and 0.
That's inside.
And that's over. 2-1.
That's an impressive pitch right there. If you're willing to throw a changeup on 2-0, that tells me that's a pitch you feel really confident with.
Go-ahead runs in scoring position here with 2 down. And a strike. Threw him a breaking ball that time. 2-2. And he comes back with 1 down and in for ball 3. Aaron Judge would be next. Payoff pitch on its way. And that misses, ball 4. So it's first and second now with 2 out.
Now batting, right fielder, Aaron.
Jeremy Hill trots in from the bullpen here as he inherits a tough spot with 2 on and 2 away.
Jeremy Hill.
Aaron Judge will be his first assignment here as he'll face him with runners at first and second and 2 away. Here's the first pitch. And a fastball misses here to start the at-bat. It's 1-0. Swing and a miss. 1-1.
It's becoming more and more common in today's game to see relievers like this that can run it up there close to 100 miles per hour. But it's so fun to watch it. He blew it right by him there.
Fouled straight back. From the stretch, the 1-2. A swing and a shot hit down the corner. Ready with another 2-strike offering. And a slider bounces, and that gets away. So now 2 men in scoring position. The 2-2. Fastball is outside, and it's full now. 3-2.
Now on 3-2 as a pitcher, you've got to go with the pitch that you feel most comfortable throwing with.
The payoff pitch. And he strikes him out here for out number 3. So after a scoreless top half, they'll have a chance to win it here in the bottom half. No runs, a hit, 2 left. It's getting late. 1 run can win it as we move to the bottom of the 11th. And we are all even at 6 apiece. Andrew Miller takes over now to start the home 11th, and he's looking to get this one to the visiting 12th. Set now for the bottom of the 11th. And next to bat will be the outfielder, Michael Cohen.
Michael Cohen.
First pitch on its way. And he'll miss the target away with the fastball. It's 1-0. Line drive to center field. And that's a base hit, so the pressure's on to open up the inning.
Hey, that's a nice piece of hitting right there to put the winning run on base. Interesting here, this is where you play a little bit of manager. It's an AL game. Let's see if he employs a little National League style. Maybe ask the guy to bunt and move the runner up right here. I don't think so, though. American League, it's nasty. You're trying to drive something in a gap or over a wall.
Strike taken, the throw. And it skips in as he steals the bag easily.
You don't see that very often against this guy. This guy has one of the best arms in the game, but still a successful steal of second base.
Just behind the fastball there, 2 strikes now.
You have one job in this situation, especially down 0-2. You have to find a way to advance that runner to third and give your teammate a chance to drive something into the outfield. You cannot not come through in this situation.
A possible winning run on second. No one out. Tried to get him to go after the slider, but it's 1-2. Two and two.
Hey, doubled up on breaking balls there outside. Now might be the time to bust that fastball in.
And this is swung on and missed. And boy, they took care of a key man there. 1 away.
Well, his struggles continue. It's been a rough go of it at the plate with him, and watching this at bat, it's clear to me that his rhythm and timing, they're just all off. Even as a pitcher like I was, you can tell these things and exploit them.
To the plate now, Al Messina, as he'll take a look at his strike on the outside corner. It's 0-1. And he's got a chance to bring in the winning run. The question is whether they'll even pitch to him. The 0-1. Called strike. 0-2. So back-to-back sliders for strikes. Does he come back with yet another?
Hey, not normally a good plan to throw 3 consecutive sliders in a row. This guy's slider is so good, I think he might throw it again.
He'll try to hold back, but he won't be able to, as that's ruled a swing, and there are 2 away now.
The batter, number 9. Shortstop, Lawrence.
So a big spot here, and stepping in, Lawrence Cohen, as he'll look to get the ball into the outfield and bring home what would be the winning run from second base. And it looks like they'd rather go after the next guy as the intentional walk signal comes here with 2 away.
Yeah, well, when a guy's swinging the bat as well as he's been, this is a smart move. No reason to tempt fate out there.
So digging in now, Lucas Cohen. He's 1 for 4 for the game. Here's the first pitch. And he gets him to pop it up on the right side of the infield. Voigt is there to make the catch, and that means we've got more baseball ahead. Into the box now, Giancarlo Stanton, and he'll be the one to begin the inning.
Giancarlo.
First delivery to him on the way. And he'll lay off a fastball here in a good spot, but ruled the ball 1-0. And now a left-hander will start to get ready in the bullpen. The 1-0 delivery. There's a fastball well off the plate for a ball. Hill still playing here at age 43. This is his second year as a major leaguer. And he'll lay the fastball in here to get the count back to 2-1. Now the pitch. And that's in there above the belt, so it's even now, 2-2. This is foul right side. Into the windup. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. He struck him out. The third time he's fanned in the game. A note now from the folks in programming. Due to the length of our contest this afternoon, our afternoon cooking program In the Kitchen with Scott Rohde will not be seen this afternoon. Ladies, don't shoot me. I'm just a messenger. Settling in now, Luke Voigt. He's looking for his third hit of the ball game here. Here comes the first pitch. Fastball taken a little under the letters, called a strike. Ball one as he lays off below the zone. Bases are empty, one man out. 2 balls and a strike to the Yankees first baseman. Fastball is looked at for strike 2.
2-2.
Ready on 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here it comes. And he'll strike out here yet again, as it's been a ball game to forget thus far. 4 strikeouts.
Wow, he's just a lost cause in this one. That's the 4th time he struck out in this game alone, and that's not something you'll forget very quickly. That's about as bad of a day as you can have.
At the plate now, Miguel Andujar, as he will take strike 1 on the fastball here. No balls and a strike. He's working on a 1 for 3 thus far. The 0-1. Grounded up the first baseline, but that'll get foul. It's 0-2 now. Good changeup in the dirt. Strike 3. The throw to first is in time, and the inning is over. 1, 2, 3 go the Bombers. Weird still tied 6-6. Aroldis Chapman will be summoned here to start the home 12th, and the best case scenario for him is to take us to the 13th. Bottom of the 12th inning now, and now it'll be the catcher, Stephen Cohen.
The catcher, Stephen Cohen.
He's ready. Here's the first offering. Swing and a miss on the sinker, 0-1. Sinker, 1 ball, 1 strike. Chapman, 33 years old. This is his 12th season in the big league, so he's put together a really nice career to this point.
Yeah, Matty, you ain't kidding right there. 10 years, we refer to that in the biz as hitting full pension.
The 1-1 home is taken for ball 2. He's fallen behind now, 3-1. That's in there, and it'll run the count to full, 3-2. Here comes the payoff pitch. A swinging bunt out in front of the plate. And that's out number 1.
Now batting, the third baseman, Oliver Zubman.
Next will be the cleanup hitter, Oliver the Man. Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes.
Hey, there's not a lot you can do with a slider breaking down and in unless you catch it way out front. I like the idea of taking it and making the pitcher bring you something a little more hittable.
Fouled off. Fouled away. This is hit high in the air out toward left center. Dominguez calls off the left fielder as he takes charge for the second out.
Now back, first baseman, Ben Whitney.
Ready now, Ben Whitney. Ready to deliver. Here's the first pitch. There's a strike at the knees. 0-1. Bases are empty here with 2 men out. And that's in there as well. 0-2 now.
Wow, I can't believe the hitter took that one. The pitcher absolutely got away with a hanger.
Late swing, but he's still able to get a lot of this one out toward deep right field. But that'll stay in the park as it's off the wall. And the possible winning run is into second base. He's got a 2-out double.
Hey, that's a nice piece of hitting right there. 2-out base knock to put the winning run on base. Let's see if someone can catch a gap and end this thing.
Into the box now. Spencer is Dudeness as the first pitch sinker misses to him. It's ball 1. 2 home runs already to his name in this one, and we'll see if he could possibly strike again. Ball and a strike.
Got a ball, 1 strike.
The set and the 1-1. And he strikes him out to retire the side, so we'll play at least one more. Digging in the switch hitter, Jason Dominguez. He starts off the inning against a guy who struck out the side last inning. How did they get to him here?
I'm not sure, Matt, that they want to stay as patient. He's been throwing a lot of strikes. They might want to start swinging a little bit earlier in the count.
First offering on its way.
Nope, that's inside.
Got him to swing at a pitch below the knees. 1-1. Now here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. 5 straight strikeouts now, and there's 1 gone.
Man, he is looking flat out unhittable on the mound right now. That's 5 straight punch-outs. I love it, but I think he might want to get his defense involved at some point so they don't fall asleep.
Into the box, Gary Sanchez. as he looks at a fastball that misses off the plate for ball one. Struggling so far in this one and looking to erase his 0 for 4 ball game right here. The 1-0 is a fastball in off the plate for a ball. Below the zone, a swing and a miss.
Gotta love a reliever that comes in firing bullets, and his fastball is a good one.
The 2-1 is offered at and missed. He chased it for strike 2. 1 out, nobody on. Well above the letters with the fastball that time.
Looked like he tried to elevate a fastball on that 2-2 pitch there, but kind of overdid it with a pitch.
Oh, and look at this. High in the air and deep. And when this ball comes down, they'll have taken the lead. Home run. So it's a solo shot to dead center as they've taken a 1-run lead. Well, that's the 6th home run we've watched leave the yard in this one. Guys, what do you think's behind the hitting we've seen here today?
Dan, they're absolutely not going to cover off the ball. I'm curious to get your take on this. I didn't find it to be the truth. I didn't mind hitting at night, but a lot of guys say they see the ball better during the day.
You know what's funny, D-Row, is I preferred to pitch in night game.
Meanwhile, this ball is into right center, and that ought to be good enough for extra bases. And he'll pull into second with 1 away.
Now batting, third baseman, Tyler Wade.
At the plate, Tyler Wade. As he'll take a look at a slider here that finds the zone for strike 1. 1 for 1 as he reached base with a double his first time up. Here's the 0-1. In there, and it's 0-2 now. And on 0-2, he misses with a fastball.
Man, that's a good take there on that 0-2 fastball just missed. He must have a really good eye at the plate.
The 1-2. And a fastball swung on and missed as he just reared back there. 2 away. Got him with a good high fastball there. Danny, we see a lot of that pitch in strikeout situations these days. What makes it so effective?
I think, Matt, what makes it such a tough pitch is you're changing eye levels. That fastball up looks so enticing to hit that you see that ball as a hitter. You think you can drive it, but it's really hard to get on top of that good high hard fastball.
Torres is in with 2 away now as he looks at a called strike 1. 2 out here and a runner at second. And here's a swing and a miss as he falls behind 0-2.
I know that feeling. Played 14 years in the big leagues and still can't hit a slider.
Here's the 0-2. And he'll try to get him to chase the fastball there, but he lays off. 1-2. To 2 balls and 2 strikes now. He's set. The 2-2. Full count now. 3-2.
For the guy on the mound, this is one of those innings where nothing comes easy. He's thrown a bunch of pitches, and this AB hasn't been any different. Definitely laboring at the moment.
Runner in scoring position at second with 2 down. Ground ball sent back up the middle. And the throw to first is in time, but the damage has been done as the side is retired. Yankees forced to settle for one. And now this crowd finds their club behind the 8 ball here as they don't want to wind up on the losing end of this thing. The Yankees lead it 7-6. Ready for another chance? Michael Cohen. He's working on a 3-hit ball game right now.
Michael Cohen.
First offering on its way. Weekly hit towards first. Fielded cleanly. Throw, and he's called out on a close play at first.
The batter, number 00, designated hitter, Nigel Pierre.
Next will be the designated hitter, Nigel Pierre. Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes. Bases are empty, 1 man out. That misses wide. 1 ball and 1 strike. The 1-1. And the third baseman will have a look at it, but this is back into the seats. The 1-2. He swung on and missed. He got him on strikes.
Well, we'll see a lot of these power arms coming out of the bullpen in these days, but it doesn't make it any less impressive to me. I love watching guys come in and blow smoke right by guys.
Standing in now, Al Messina. As he'll lay off a slider too low, ball 1. He was sat down on strikes in his last at-bat. The 1-0.
Nope, that's down.
It's never advantageous to fall behind 2-0 as a pitcher, but if you're going to do it, it's far better to do it with a guy down in the bottom of the order. Time for a challenge fastball right here, though.
2 out, nobody on. And it's fouled away. Fastball, but he's losing it a bit here to 3-1 now. Lawrence Cohen would be next if they can keep this inning alive. The 3-1. And this is hit hard to the right side, but foul. Has them down to their final strike. Here it comes. Line drive to left. But this is taken in as a perfect metaphor to end this one, as that ball was hit hard, but the ball game is over.
Yeah, that's a sweet win, especially on the road. They took the lead in the top of the 13th and held onto it in the bottom to secure this win.
And this afternoon's closes at a 1-run game, 7-6 today. New York get the win despite 3 errors in the field. Aroldis Chapman gets the win in relief, his 2nd of the year. So that just about does it for Mark DeRosa, Dan Plesac, Heidi Watney down on the field, and the rest of our crew. I'm Matt Vasgersian. Thanks for watching MLB Network.
Our final line score this afternoon. First for the victorious Yankees, 7 runs on 13 hits. 3 errors. They left 11 runners on base. for the home team. 6 runs on 12 hits. 1 error. They left 9 men on base. Time of the ball game, 3 hours and 59 minutes. Thank you for joining us here this afternoon. And we remind you to please drive home safely.